Yeah, let the big dog hunt. Hello again, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Kallas Remarks with your host, Joe Staszak. Star of the show, Steve Kallas. We're previewing week 10 of the NFL season. How you doing, Steven?
Oh, good, Joe. Great to be with you as always.
You too. Let's start with the game last night.
What?
Really? 10 to 7, really?
Yeah.
The Broncos, listen, they're 8 and 2. Okay, you are what your record says you are, I guess. But I've never, and again, I could be wrong. I'm just not a big fan. I've never been afraid of the Broncos. I know they came back from 14 down against the Eagles in the second half. The Eagles laid an egg, but give the Broncos credit. They don't seem to wake up till late, scoring 33 points in the fourth quarter against the Giants. 10 first downs last night. Like, what's up with why doesn't Bo Nix look like he did last year? And why doesn't the team in general, I guess offensively, because they don't get rolling quick enough. Their defense is good, but they don't look like they did last year.
Yeah, it's very weird. I mean, they and don't forget those two losses at the beginning of the year. They could have won those games. I mean, they lost that one game when they won the game, but then they had to let the guy kick the field goal
Yeah,
again.
the
They lost.
leverage penalty. Yep.
It was so weird. But I'm kind of leaning your way now. I thought they were for real, and I understand the miracle comeback, 33 points in the quarter and stuff. But you're right, they can't get started. Knicks yesterday, 150 yards, one touchdown, two picks. They just can't seem to get it going. It's surprising to me. I thought they were legit. And look, they're 8 and 2. But unless and they, it's really they're the defensive stars of the league. They had six sacks yesterday, and lucky again at the end. Carlson missed a 40. Carlson's pretty good. He missed a 48 yarder to tie up the game. They got the field goal to win the game by blocking a punt. And it's defense oriented. It's interesting. I want to say they're home at the Chiefs next week. We're going to find out next week where they are. I think it's in Denver, but I know they're playing the Chiefs next week. And that's really the game to watch if you want to know where the Broncos are. I thought they were for real, but this is even worse than the Chiefs last year, the way they're winning. But they do have a stellar defense, Joe. I
Yeah.
mean, they might have the best defense in the NFL,
Defense travels.
right? So, we'll have to see what happens, but I'm certainly not as confident. But I do think this game coming. I mean, I thought they were going to beat the Raiders easily. Thankfully, I didn't pick them. But I think we'll find out next week or this coming weekend, I should say, when they play the Chiefs. Oh no, they won't play. I'm sorry, they won't play the Chiefs till a week from
So a
Sunday.
week from now, they
They
have a
played.
kind of that semi-bye, but
But
yeah,
that's a big
that-
where are you
that's
game.
a big barometer test. You are correct. Chiefs have been playing well, though. They did not play well against Buffalo. In fact, Patrick Mahomes had one of the worst statistical nights of his career. Same with Bo Nix. It happens. Listen, I get it. You can be a great player, not play great. It's not killing anyone. I'm just saying I want to see the Broncos, put together a whole game and back a few games back to back before I anoint them the kings of the AFC West. Because right now I still think the Chiefs are the team to beat in that conference, but they are 3 games behind, and that's a lot to make up. All right,
Yeah.
let's move on, shall we? The Colts coming off a tough loss to the Steelers at home versus the Falcons team. You never know what you're going to get out of that Falcons team. Bijan Robinson could have 300 yards rushing, or he could have 9 carries. You never know. Kirk Cousins is playing. Penix is playing. But they're coming off that Steelers loss, and where Daniel Jones kind of got his comeuppance, but that happens. And they're 7 and 2 still. That's a good record. You are what your record says you are, while the Falcons are struggling at 3 and 5.
Well, I mean, he wasn't just bad last week. I mean, he had five turnovers himself, three picks,
Mhm.
two fumbles. But I want to know what you saw. I know we're going to get the pick soon, and you were 3-0 last week. I was 2-1. But what did you see in the Steelers that would make you pick them? Because I thought the Colts could kill them, and of course, I was totally wrong.
I thought I saw in them what I looked at last week against the Packers in the second half. They didn't show up. I'm sure they got an earful. The secondary was watching pop flies drop in, the tight end that we like from the Packers. His name escapes me, but he was running roughshod on them in the second half. They're up 9 at the end of the half. They lost easily, and the Packers put up 35 points when I fell asleep and woke up. And they completely collapsed. Tomlin is a very good record. That's why I liked him against the Packers. His record as home as a home dog is huge. It's like 22-5. Well, now it's 22-6. Now it's 23-6. And I thought the Colts might be due for one of those games. Not a horrific game, but you're not going to play at that high level, all year long when you're just coming together with Daniel Jones, a new quarterback, and I just thought the Steelers at home back-to-back weeks as a home dog. I thought they would be ripe to cash in on.
And I will say, watching the gambling of that, not gambling on the game, but I did pick them here. I did pick the Colts here. I saw the Colts go from like minus 115 down to minus 105. And I saw the Steelers go from like minus 105 up to minus 115. So I'm no genius with that kind of stuff. But it just seems to me somebody saw something and the betting at least went up in favor of the Steelers, which is always a sign if you get it's like being at the racetrack in 2 minutes to post, somebody, bets 2,000 on a horse or
Yeah,
something. And the odds go down, and right away, if you know what you're doing, you run into the window because something's up.
sums up.
That something was up in this game, but the betting did change. So somebody saw something, maybe like what you saw, and went in and pounded the Steelers.
Yeah, and they did cover nicely. And this week, I think the Colts will be right again. I mean, if Jonathan Taylor, 3 games this year, he's had 3 touchdowns. I mean, he's like having a Saquon-ish year.
Yeah.
Um, a very good year. Let's talk about the Ravens and the Vikings. I know Lamar Jackson's back. And J.J. McCarthy came out after being off for many weeks with the injury and slung it last week. They're obviously a different team without Carson Wentz. 4.5 point favorites on the road. I mean, I know he's Lamar Jackson, but they had their record isn't good. It's 3-5, and he played, most of those games to get them to where they were at 3-5. It doesn't, to me, make a whole lot of. It makes a difference because yes, I think he's a video game, but their defense is still horrible, and they're 4.5 point favorites over a Vikings team who just beat Detroit.
And it has a very good defense, as you know. So it's in the Joe Staszak world, it's like a weird line. Like, how could
It
that line?
is weird.
The only thing I'll say is that I think the view now is he's back, he played well, they won, and they're going to now climb to the top like we all expected at the beginning of the year that they'd be in the conversation with, the Bills and the Chiefs and stuff. That's the only thing I can think of, but it's bizarre to me that they are 4.5 point favorites.
Yeah, I thought that was a
Or
little.
even favorites, frankly, Joe. That's
Right,
that's
that's what I mean. Like that
that's
would
yeah.
me that's really off if you ask me.
Yeah. Doesn't
Um,
pass the Joe Staszak
it
test.
does not pass the olfactory nerve test. That one does not smell good. Patriots at the Buccaneers, and the Patriots. Your Sun squad running roughshod are 7-2 this year with Drake May and Mike Vrabel. Bucks 6-2. It could be a that's gonna be a battle. But the Buccaneers are favored at home, laying the points or laying less than a field goal, 2.5.
Yeah, well, I will tell you this because I was watching yesterday NFL Live. So Schefter said that Tampa is not getting Godwin back. They're not getting Bucky Irvin back. And the Patriots are not getting Boutte, who's kind of that secret really good receiver that they have. And Stevenson, the running back, who's a banger, he's not going to play either. So I don't know if that makes it even. I certainly think the Patriots, it's a pass game for me, but I thought, I'm not going to pick it, but I certainly think the Patriots can win. I think they're for real. May was not real good last week. He was good and they won. They won because the guy missed an extra point. Otherwise, they would have been overtime. But Celtics are for real. And it's what you said. Defense travels. They have a good defense.
They do have a good defense. They have a really good defense, and it travels. It travels well. That's why you see teams that are inept offensively but have a good defense will keep you in the ball game. You know what's interesting to me? And when I'm wrong, I am really wrong because I couldn't stand Sam Darnold, and I thought he shouldn't be in the league like 2 years after I saw him play. He has now killed it for the Vikings last year with 14 wins, and he's one of the best quarterbacks in the league in a new team in Seattle. And again, it makes me go back to saying, what were the Vikings thinking? Because listen, I know J.J. McCarthy's coming off a good game. It's early. Just to go with a rookie over a guy who won 14 games to save you some money. I know that J.J. McCarthy has like 3 years left of his rookie contract, and that's where you like to have a good quarterback. Saves you money. You can spread it out in other areas. Sam Darnold's killing it for Seattle, just killing it. And they're taking on the Cardinals. And Cardinals coming off, we'll talk about that big win and the sad subsequently days following that Cowboys loss. But with the death of Marshawn Neal. But right now, the Seahawks 6.5 point favorites over the Cardinals at home.
Yeah, I kind of like the Seahawks. They also got Rashid Shaheed from New Orleans this week. I'll throw in a little bit of the I'm going to talk about the Jets later, and what they did was they waved the white flag forever. They traded their two best players.
They did.
But and then I saw the coach was like, and everybody loves Aaron Glenn. I mean, in New York, I mean, he was a good player for them. He's well liked, but to say, well, these guys are super players, but we have to build for the future. And I'm like, well, what are these guys 35 years old? I mean, Sauce Gardner's been in the league, what, 2 years?
Right.
And so I don't know what they're doing, but when we get to picks, I'll talk about that a little. But the Seahawks get another weapon. I mean, Rashid Shaheed. I mean, he's a weapon. And I kind of like them in that game. I might pick them. I got to go check my notes before we actually do that. But you know, they're better. They're better with Brissett. Yeah, I wonder if
Kevin Brissett's a good ball player.
Kyler Murray's just getting the money. He's the one who got the guaranteed for the whole contract, right? 230 million. I don't know. You
That
got
was
to.
Deshaun Watson, I think. Did Carly Murray?
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay. Did
He got stupid money too, Kyler Murray,
he
but
did. He got
not
stupid
that
money.
stupid. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
It was ridiculous money. And he is a ridiculous quarterback and he moves like a water bug and you throw the ball a mile, he's about this big. But like I I can't stand when I hear that your record is it's not a quarterback stat. What are you talking about? That's all you should care about. But he hasn't won. I'm not sure if it's all his fault. I don't think it is, although
Yeah,
he does have some nice players around him now, but he's hurt.
I, I don't know if you saw these commercials, but it just struck me as sad when Jacoby Brissett. Have you seen the commercials where they have to bring in the backup? Have you seen any of
No,
them?
I don't think so.
Jacoby Brissett comes in as the backup. I think he was doing something on a typewriter or a computer or something because he had the answers. They did one with Tommy DeVito from the Giants.
Sure.
I'm trying to think who the other one was. You would know them all. You'd be cracking up, but they showed a lot of them in New York, and that was like the new thing. So you want to, I think it's you do something to back up your computer. I don't even know what it's for, but it was hysterical when they said, "Oh, bring in the backup," and it was Jacoby Brissett. But they probably get some good money for that, and these guys are millionaires from playing. But anybody, there was another backup I forgot, but I've seen three or four of them. It's I thought it was cool actually. Normally I was like, really? But backup quarterback should make more money. But he's a factor. I wish Kyler Murray was playing because I'm probably going to pick the Seahawks because again, their defense is real good and their offense is real good. They're kind of sleepers. Nobody's really put them I would put them near the top. I don't know about at the top, but I'd put them near the
Well,
top.
they're way out there somewhere. People forget about them, tucked away
Austin,
near
Seattle.
Alaska. Yeah. All right. Well, in the big game around here, and it seems like they haven't. I mean, look, the bye's great. You get healthy and you go on vacation, whatever. But like, I can't stand it. I mean, we haven't seen football around here, and it seems like a month. But the Eagles are in Lambeau on Monday night, take on a Packer team. Again, another team I don't believe in. People anointed them the greatest thing since Vince Lombardi's Packers after they beat Detroit game one. They lost to the Browns on a bad pick by Jordan Love. They put up 40 in Dallas and didn't win. And then they lost to at home as a two-touchdown favorite to the Carolina Panthers, who were up and down, but they're the Carolina Panthers. So they
Who,
come
who,
they
who
come
you
in.
picked? Who you picked,
I
right?
did, I did. They come in at 5-2-1, decent record, and they can look very good at times. But I don't trust them because I don't necessarily trust the quarterback as much.
I totally agree with you. The Eagles are one of my picks. I don't pick them a lot, but I think they've kind of turned it around. I think it's getting better. I think you want to be kind of like the Chiefs or the Titans of old as you get now we're in week 10. This is the time when you want to win all the time during the week and stuff, but now we're in November and I know it's really bigger in December, but you want to go, with the line going up. You don't
Right.
want the line level or the line going down. And I think they're kind of playing better now. And I think they kind of got a wake up call, but they still have some injuries. They've traded for a couple guys, right? D linemen, I think. And I think they're going to win that game outright.
I do too, and that leads us to our picks. If you want to go first, you can.
I'll go first because you went 3-0 and you'll get all the kudos.
No kudos because you're only as good as your last
I was
week.
2-1 last week. That's my
And you've been 2-1.
week 7, yeah. Doing
That's
one 3 weeks in a
awesome.
row. Uh,
Tremendous.
but I'm going, and I'll be quick. This might be a a weird Joe Staszak line. The Browns are still -2.5 over the Jets at the Meadowlands when the when the Jets traded. You tell me who's better on the Jets than Sauce Gardner and
Nobody.
and Quinnen Williams, who went to the Cowboys. I mean, he's still a Pro Bowl player. And so they waved the white flag again. The coach gave this big speech. Oh, we got all these draft picks. They did get two number ones for a
Yeah.
corner now, Joe. That's unusual.
Yeah.
But they're stocking up for. I mean, maybe they want to lose and get the quarterback. They're there with the Raiders, who could have beaten the Broncos yesterday. They're both down in the dump. Maybe that's a tacit. I'm not sure why. How long is it going to take them to come back defensively with those two guys gone? But I don't know why. You tell me. The Browns were -2.5, and now they're -2.5 against the Jets.
Yeah. They're the Browns.
I asked my son, and he sent me a text. It's the Browns.
The Browns.
I don't have the heart to ask Rick Morris. Maybe I will.
I know, right?
But I'm going to just take quickly Browns -2.5 over the Jets. I'm taking Seahawks -6.5 over the Cardinals, but I am more worried now because Jacoby Brissett is playing as opposed to Kyler Murray.
Mhm.
And but the Seahawks have a very good defense. And do you know that they've won 10 road games in a row?
Yeah.
I don't know if that's some kind of record, but that's incredible. They've won 10.
Incredible.
And so even though they're on now, you're going to tell me at -6.5, they want me to bet the Seahawks. If it was 7.5, I might not. But I'm picking the Browns -2.5, the Seahawks -6.5. And I think the Eagles are better than Green Bay, and I think they're going to show it. I think the Eagles stock is rising, maybe not super fast, but it's going up. And I think they just have more stuff. And they're getting 2.5. I think the Eagles have a chance to win it outright. How about you? I know you were 3-0. Maybe you're going to tell us why you didn't give us the money line on the Panthers and the Steelers. That would have been nice for us poor people who do this stuff, but
The I took the Panthers because it's a huge line, and it was 13 and a half points. And
yeah.
it's an NFL game, and they were coming off a loss. And do you know that, and people may not know this, but the team that wins the game, 85% of the time, I'm sorry, the team that covers this number wins the game. That's why you see these ridiculous underdogs. They usually win the game. Not that I was thinking they were going to win the game. I just thought that's too many points. But they won the game, and it's amazing how it happens, but it does. And that shouldn't happen if you're the Packers and you want to make a serious run. I know it's the NFL, and you and I talk every week. It's a different season every week, but come on,
Incredible.
guys, you're at home. You're in Lambeau. But anyway, here's my picks. I don't know. I might be missing something on this, and this might be going against my own rule. But the Rams are at San Fran, and they're 4.5 point favorites. Is Mac Jones playing? Is Brock Purdy playing? To me, it doesn't matter. You're interchangeable. I don't think
I heard it's Mac Jones, but
that's what I thought. 4.5. Those games are so close when those two teams play. I'm taking the dogs. I'm taking the Niners out of principle. I'm taking the Steelers again. They're only getting 2.5 at the Chargers. Thought that line might be a little low. I think it might be a little goofy. So I'm taking the Steelers again. I know they're on the road coming off a big win. To me, the Chargers, I have no idea what you're getting every week. But I think the Steelers may pull an upset there. And I like the Eagles because I trust them a little bit more. 2.5 points. They're the champs. They've been playing the last 2 weeks pretty good football. I mean, Jalen Hurts has almost been perfect 2 weeks in a row. The running game got going last week against the Giants. We'll see if that continues. Look, I wouldn't be shocked if the Packers win the game. I know I've been killing the Packers since day one. It's tough to win on the road, and especially in Lambeau. They played them tough in Brazil last year. Eagles found a way to win. Eagles found a way to win the playoff game. Had the Packers turn it over 4 times. I just trust them a little bit more. Trust the quarterback. He doesn't turn the ball over while the other one has a propensity to do so. So I'm with you. I like the Eagles. Now I want to go back and talk a little bit about. We watched the Cardinals and Cowboys the other night, and a punt was blocked, and a guy named Marshawn Nealon scored a touchdown on it. And a few days later, the sad news this week is that he committed suicide and self-inflicted gunshot wound, and which goes to what you say. You never know what's. I mean, he scored a touchdown on national television. You think the guy's having a lot of things are going right in his world, but you never know what's going on. Mental health is a
yeah.
real thing.
Well, they did have some mental health problems and admitted to them, and that's great. But yeah, I don't know as a player what higher level you could have than what he did on Sunday. And he beat three guys down there to get on the ball and the block punt to score a touchdown. And that just doesn't happen to defensive players. And he seemed as they always do when they do that. I mean, he seemed out of his mind happy.
Yeah,
But you're right. I mean, you don't know what's going on in people's minds. Even people you think you know them, you think you know them, and then you hear it, and there's 40 people giving interviews saying, "Man, he was a great guy. He did this, he did that, he dealt with his mental health." But maybe it's just something that keeps coming back and coming back and coming back because he was in some kind of car crash or something, and he left the scene, and he just they couldn't find him, and then they found the car, and then they found him. And they wouldn't even say it at first, but then apparently the police report or the police said they believe it was a suicide, which is very sad. And apparently his girlfriend knew something about it and said he had his gun, and uh, it's just very sad. And it can happen to anybody. You think it can't? Here's a guy who's making his way in the NFL, was always his goal in life, and
amazing.
it's frankly, it's very sad. I don't know what else to say.
It, it's a it's a really sad thing. Unfortunately for him, his family, we certainly send out prayers and wishes. You can switch to basketball now, a little NBA.
Don't really have much there, but
Yeah, I don't have much on the NBA. I mean, it is what it is. Chicago Bulls are playing ball. Oklahoma City is, the top team. Lakers are 7-2. LeBron's not making the 5-day road trip. He's got sciatica of the back.
that's
Um,
that's you can't play with that.
no, I've had that. I had it last week. I could barely sit here and do this.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, you got anything else you want to talk
I
about?
just got a couple of hockey things I wanted to do. One,
Ovie scored his 900th.
incredible, right? I mean, they were going, will he get to 900? I mean, that's stupid.
Right.
The question is, if he wants to play, will he get to 1,000? I mean, that's 333 goal, 33 and 134 from here. And we've seen he's not killing it, but we saw what was it, 2 years ago? He had 9 goals and he's finished with 40 or whatever
Yeah.
it was. He had 9 at the All-Star break and he finished with 40. And that goal, I'm sure you saw the goal. I mean, he did like a blind backhand from the side of the net, and it's Ovechkin. He had one, I was watching the highlights last night. He had one against Cosby and the Penguins, but it was his quintessential shot that he's always done to the left of the goalie. He's got to have 250 goals from that spot. But the guy made a good save and he looked frustrated. But I think he wants to get going. I bet you if you asked him, he'd want to go for 1,000 goals, which
Sure.
I don't think
Seems
900.
like there's no slowing him down yet. I mean, yeah, he's Ovi. One of those
Yep,
players who's built to keep playing. We had the fibula break last year. It seemed like he was out like 3 days. I've never seen a guy come back that
he's
quickly. I
tough.
think it was
He's still tough. And the other thing I wanted to mention, this is mainly for New York hockey fans. I know you're out there. November 2nd, it's a few days ago now, but November 2nd, 1975, uh, 2 days earlier on Halloween, the Rangers put Giacomin, their star goalie, who unfortunately passed away recently, of course. They put him on waivers, and the Detroit Red Wings on Halloween claimed him. And I remember hearing it. I was relatively young, but my mother and I still had season tickets. My dad, had the season tickets, but passed away. And we still went to a lot of games in 1975. And I thought it was like April Fools on Halloween that they would let Jockerman go on waivers. And 2 days later, this is the beauty of this. 2 days later, he shows up in a Red Wings jersey in Madison Square Garden to play against the Rangers. And we were all nuts. We were chanting Eddie, Eddie, Eddie before the game, during the game, after the game. He got a standing ovation at the beginning of the game. They asked me once on MSG when MSG had a sports talk show thing. I said, had to be 7, 8 minutes of a standing ovation for Eddie Jockman. And we cheered from the whole game. Every time the Red Wings scored, we cheered. Time the Rangers scored, hardly anybody, maybe
wow.
a few people cheered. And I'm not saying Jockman lit him up because the final score of the game was 6-4. Oh, he led them to victory. Yeah, I don't know about that. But they won 6-4. The Red Wings beat the Rangers, and I'm telling you, I think it's the only time, certainly in Rangers history, where we cheered for the other team the entire game, before, during, and after. So it's 50 years, which makes you feel real old. And I thought it should be mentioned. Unfortunately, Giacomin he passed away a few weeks ago. It's kind of a sad state of affairs. I'm pretty sure he's in the Hall of Fame, Giacomin. Maybe I'll check that for next week, but he should be if he's not. So that was that. I think I told you beforehand that was the most memorable thing I've ever been at. I was at the Mets when they won in '69, the last game. I went on the field and took my grass, but I wasn't a Met fan. I was a Yankee fan. I was with Johnny Callis, 28-3 Atlanta. I give Patriots fans. I'm not a Patriots fan. I'm a Giants fan, but Patriots fans didn't give up, even at
Didn't give up.
28-3. And I think I told you when they won the coin flip for overtime, the game was over.
Done. Done.
But
You,
he'll remember I
you,
said you'll live to 100 and you won't see something for a team you like better than what you saw
it was
today.
unbelievable. Matt
Yeah.
Ryan knew it when he lost the flip. He's like,
You ain't kidding.
unfortunately, and I'm not seeing the ball again. Great stuff, my man. You get to catch Steve's stuff on his daily Facebook forum page, speaking of sports. With Steve Callis, this podcast on YouTube and all the audio outlets. And you can follow me on Twitter at Joe Staszak 975 or on Instagram at Joe Staszak 4799. We will catch you on Tuesday to recap week 10 of the NFL season. Steven, great job as usual, and have a great week, and we'll talk to you.
Always a pleasure, Joe.
You too, pal. Appreciate it, folks, for watching, and we'll catch you next time.